paying tribute not only to a former president, but obviously to his dad as well. Absolutely. Dr. Emmanuel Navon, I want to bring you in here to discuss former President Bush, who has had all these tributes being made to him, his actual relationship with the Middle East and specifically with Israel. Take us through what that was all about during his reign.
Well, first of all, something that most people don't know is that before George Bush was president, he was vice president for 8 years. And in his capacity as vice president, he was instrumental in helping the Jews from Ethiopia and from the Soviet Union to move to Israel, to immigrate to Israel. He played a critical role in saving the lives of thousands of Ethiopian Jews and bringing them to Israel, and also in helping the Jews of the former Soviet Union to move to Israel, to convince the leader of the time, Mikhail Gorbachev, to let the Jews of the Soviet Union leave Russia and come to Israel. So that was his role as a vice president. Once he was president of the United States, he handled the end of the Cold War masterfully, I would say, very carefully. And of course, because America at the time became the only superpower, he had this huge leverage on Israel to try and bring peace to the Middle East, which very often brought tensions between his administration and the Shamir government in Israel, especially on the issue of the loans guarantee, which Israel asked from the United States in 1992 to help and finance the immigration and the integration of Russian Jews. And the Bush administration at the time demanded a commitment from Israel not to invest any of this money beyond the Green Line, and this kind of created a crisis. At the end, Shamir refused, and the loan wasn't granted. So there were tensions definitely between the Bush administration and the Shamir government. But overall, I would say he really handled the hand of the Cold War, and of course he brought this coalition against Iraq to get Iraq out of Kuwait and to build this international coalition against Saddam Hussein.
And more broadly speaking, in terms of the kind of personality and the kind of interactions that he had during his reign, if you look back now, the legacy that he leaves as a former president of the United States? Well,
I think George Bush was the ultimate blue-blooded New Englander, really the American aristocracy. He was a real gentleman, a man of impeccable manners, but also a very careful statesman. And I think it came out very much the way he, as I said, he handled the end of the Cold War. He was very much respected by other world leaders, as I said, for being a gentleman, for being extremely level-headed. He also had a very good relationship with European leaders, with Margaret Thatcher, with François Mitterrand, with Helmut Kohl. And as I said, I think he would be remembered as a president who handled the end of the Cold War in a very level-headed manner.
International relations expert Dr. Emmanuel Navon and our international affairs correspondent